Thanks for joining us on Key Factors, presented by the raceguide.com.au. Stu Rich and Mike Wood here to take you through the Rosehill Quaddie this weekend. And, well, Mike, the weather, we didn't quite pick that last week. The clouds just dodged Rosehill completely. Didn't get a splash out there. We ended up missing the Quaddie, but look, didn't turn out to be a great deal, did it? $56. I mean, come on.
Yeah, didn't pay much, did it? 30% of $56. What's that, a round of drinks? So it doesn't really matter that we missed it last week. We missed the weather as well, like you said. I think the 5 Quaddies we got over the last year have paid $1,000, $2,000. They're the ones we're fishing for. They're
the ones we want. Racing action, though, this weekend heads to the Golden West, and Tom Melbourne, how about this horse? He just loves coming second. He's over there in the railway. Can he keep it up?
He's such a funny horse, isn't he? I love following this horse, love following all the social media chatter about him, whether he wins, loses or draws on Saturday. There'll be so much chatter. Some horses just hate to win, don't they, Stu?
They do. There's a few of those wine tales from recent memory. In times of war, there's a couple on the card this weekend on Saturday, aren't there?
Yeah, don't sack those two horses, though. They're doing all right.
OK, well, we're going to get stuck into the Rosehill Quaddie in just a second. That's what we're here to do. The first lead kicks us off is race 6, and it's the Thoroughbred Breeders New South Wales Handicap over the 1,400 metres. And, Mike, just dreaming, this horse is just a dream for the punters. I mean, when other horses check out at the 200, this horse just loves to lift. That's what we love on this show. And how about the Godolphin trio taking her on, including Morton's Fork, who's unbeaten at Rosehill?
Yeah, serious horse. Gelded this preparation, had some black type form from last preparation. Let's have a look at the way these good 4-year-olds set up in the first leg of the Quaddie on Saturday. Benchmark 90 over 1,400 metres to kick us off. We hope the tempo is going to be fair in this first leg. The bye should be fair, we think, with the rail back to the true, but it could be near pace. There's not much rain around it. It could really firm up, so watch out for that on Saturday. Across the 3 key factors to kick things off, Rosehill Gardens has to be a key factor. The firm and fast track, position and run, which horse has got the inside barriers, and the stage of preparation, some horses are second and third up.
Well, let's have a look at the market to kick things off with the Rosehill Quaddie this weekend as we get stuck into it. And there's Just Dreaming, that horse we mentioned that just loves to lift and did just that last start, lifting late to win it. $3.60 heading the market. Zumbalina, another last start winner there at $4.40. Morton's Fork, fresh off 2 soft trials at $6.50, just in behind. Wyanka, always bobbing up at odds for Waller, $8.50 here. But look, the punters, they're sticking with the winning ponies here in Just Dreaming and Zumbalina, Mike.
Yeah, they're both such good horses. They both won last start. We're not going to look at both of those replays. We're going to look at the one that we love the most, the one that we backed last start. She's such a ripper of a horse, isn't she? Just Dreaming in the box seat here, 1,500 metres a couple of weeks ago. She gets out, she wins. Look, it wasn't a very good ride on Zenalicious this day. She drifted in the market, but the apprentice jockey took off way too early, just when they sprinted at 700 metres, so maybe forgive her.
Yeah, that's Zenalicious in the red hat, but Just Dreaming, look at that, checking over heels. Not really entitled to win, but look at this, just lifts, coming hard.
Yeah, whatever Tom Melbourne hasn't got, she's got stacks of. She loves to win, she loves to eye them off. And she just knuckles down the last 50 metres every single start. You've got to love that horse, don't you, Stu?
Got to love Just Dreaming. Let's have a look at another race here. Almost a year to the day, in fact. We've got the same conditions, same track, same distance. We're talking about Gold Ambition and Unequivocal here in the pink hat on the rail.
Yeah, Gold Ambition is the one in the red, Unequivocal behind him. Look, Gold Ambition was favoured this day, first up on a low weight, like he is on Saturday, but he didn't do much. He's a bit of a non-winner. He kind of fits into that category, doesn't he? Unequivocal takes a while to find some room. When she finds some room, she was good.
Yeah, 2 from 28, I think, Gold Ambition, but Unequivocal in the pink hat, finishing off well. Look at this cat down the outside. Who's that? That's Winetails.
A massive cat, Winetails. She loves to come third. There she is, as always, so reliable.
Well, there's a look at a couple of replays to kick the Quaddie off this weekend. Let's get stuck into all the analysis now. It's all been poured in, and we're going to hit the key factors. Let's start with the form, Mike. Who's coming into this with all the form?
Yeah, looking forward to this analysis. The favourites all light up. Just Dreaming, Zumbalina, Morton's Fork. They all get the gold bar, but there's not that many behind them.
The favourites, as you said there, as we kickstart the race with the key factors and the Rosehill track to kick us off.
Yeah, favourites again. They all seem to like the Rosehill track. Those horses at each way odds, including Grundazite. His best form's at Canterbury, not Rosehill.
OK, position in run, Mike. Who gets the gun position in run here?
Well, yes, you can go forward, and some of those other on paces may not turn up on Saturday. They're dual acceptors, so Just Dreaming definitely gets the gold bar on pace. Zenalicious drawn the inside, so she gets a gold bar too.
And as we come around the bend, stage of preparation. Look at this gold.
Wow, loads of them Just Dreaming fourth up, absolutely at her peak. Time to Talk and Star Fortune, they're fresh horses. Big risks for us on Saturday.
Well, there's a look at that race, and I mean, it's time for a punt here, Mike. I mean, Just Dreaming over the line, Clear favourite in the races we have seen. But look, a couple of these horses in behind, we've got to have a look at these odds because it's either you take Just Dreaming here, you sound really confident on this horse, you've got to have a look at that $3.60 or, are we having a look a little bit wider here? There's a couple of horses you mentioned there, Unequivocal, Zenalicious, they're right there. But look, for me, I mentioned Gold Ambition, 2 from 28, Zenalicious, 2 from 14, Unequivocal, 3 from 31. I'm taking a winning horse here, Mike. Surely it's got to be Just Dreaming.
Yeah, you can't measure that winning factor, can you? And Just Dreaming has got it. Some of those other horses don't. So, look, it's a couple length margin. That's good enough for us. Just Dreaming, on pace, on top, so tough. We've all the way through this show been talking about how much we love her. So she's the best bet for us. Unequivocal. Look, she's one of those, maybe those non-winners, Stu, but she's suited over 1,400 metres third up. She's back after that Hawkesbury run.
Happy with the best bet there. Love a horse that just hits the line. That's Just Dreaming. There's a look at the first leg of the quaddie. Let's jump straight into the second leg, and it's the Country Classic over the 2,000 metres. And Michael, full field here of country horses racing for 100 grand, and I reckon there's going to be swoopers coming from every angle here, Mike. Are you into this race? How is the analysis for this?
One word, no, Stu. I'm not into this race at all. It took me 2 weeks to do the analysis, even though the acceptances came out on Wednesday. This is a tough race. Let's have a look at this 2,000 metre race and see the way it sets up and see if we can find a winner. Set weights, which makes such a difference on Saturday. The classier types are so well weighted on Saturday. The 2,000 metre distance, not many of these country horses have been to that distance before. We think it'll be a strong tempo because of the prize money on offer. Good 3 and fair bias we hope for on Saturday. Across the 3 key factors, based on this race, good track. Some of these country horses don't like the good firm track. Position and run, there's some wide barriers, included the favourite, and Surge, a testing race. Which of these horses will hit the line?
Well, let's have a look at the market now for the Country Classic. And with Matty Dunn in town for these races, he's always so prominent, his horses in these races. Let's have a look here. Miss Dubois, $3.40. Zamex, $4.80. Bronze Venom, $6.50. Madame de Barn, $10. They are all from the Matty Dunn yard. He is dominating this race from a betting perspective. But some good pushes here as well. Charlie Royale, Merendi, That's Freedom, all spec'd at a bit of odds. But Mike, the punters, they just love backing Matty Dunn's horses in this style of race, don't they?
He can place a horse, this trainer Carney. And Miss Dubois, the way she's weighted on Saturday is almost unbelievable. He must have had this race picked out a long time ago for her. Let's have a look at a lead-up run over 1,800 metres at Rosehill. Look, it doesn't look like the best run in the world, but it was in a better rating race. It was a steady tempo, so she kind of got out-sprinted off the turn. It's the last 200 metres. That's what we're looking for, Stu.
Yeah, it's when she got out-sprinted there, I thought, nah, definitely not going to win this race. But this last sort of 75 to 100 metres, love the way she's picked up, hit the line. Good, strong second.
Yeah, she hit the line of Ram at the start before this. This is what we call surge, the last 150 metres off a steady tempo, going to 2,000 metres, going to a strong tempo on Saturday. Both big ticks for the favourite. Well suited.
Okay, you've mentioned going to 2,000 metres. Let's find out if a couple of these horses can stay. We're going back to the Grafton Cup to have a look at a few here. And how about the Roars as they came out of the gates this day?
What a great meeting. I've never been there. I'm definitely going the next couple of years. All's an inside barrier with a white cap like he has on Saturday, the inside barrier again. He's a horse that can break the gates and get into a good position. He's in a serious race this day. You find out over the last 200 metres, once again, if he can stick on, and this horse can stick, Stu.
He can stick. There's some serious horses in this race. Supply and Demand, Montauk, they're the ones fighting it out. Alden, as you said, just really battling away inside.
Yeah, this race has got to be 6, 7, 8 lengths easier. He lost by 5 or 6.
Well, let's look at a couple of replays. You've said it, Mike. Hours of analysis into this Country Classic. Let's get stuck into it. Who's got the form leading us the way?
Hopefully we save you some time and make you some money. Miss Dubois, easily the classy horse. She gets the gold bar for form.
Clearly on top for form. Let's get stuck into the key factors now. The good Rosehill track.
Yeah, the favourite might just like the edge off the track, so he doesn't get a gold bar for good track. Alden loves a firm track. He was good first up on a soft track, even better second up on a firm track.
Alden loves it dry, sticking his nose out in front, position in a run.
Yeah, inside barrier, breaks the gates quite well. Alden gold bar again. Madame de Ban, quite well suited as well. Merendi, another gold bar for him.
Yeah, Alden again. Merendi, as you said, joining in the chase. This is starting to be a good race. How about Surge? Who's going to really finish this off over the 2,000?
Well, Zamex, he runs on, doesn't he? Bronze Venom, so good up to 2,000 metres last start. Miss Dubois and Alden, we saw the replays. They both should hit the line on Saturday.
Miss Dubois hits the line. Alden sticks on. Let's have a look now for a bet, Mike. I'm getting a bit of a sense here. We've mentioned Alden a few times. Miss Dubois right there, $3.40. But Alden right there on top in the ratings, equal with Miss Dubois. But hang on, one of them's $3.40, one of them's $14. You've said enough here to have a little bit of a go, I think.
Yeah, there's some chatter about this horse already early in the week. It's $14 now. It won't be $14 on Saturday. So load up your tab apps and get on early. All's In's the best bet for us. Inside barrier, each way all day, well weighted, well suited. Everything's good for him. Merendi, maybe at the price, he's a good each way play too. Don't underestimate him. His first up run was good.
Each way all day, All's In there at $14 in the second leg of the quaddie. That's some good value to kick things off this weekend. Stick around and we'll wrap up legs 3 and 4 after the break. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. We're up to the third leg of the quaddie this weekend at Rosehill Gardens, and I'm loving the way this race is shaping up, Mike. We've got Bonamie, who just only wins 4 from 4. In times of war, well, she pretty much just only places, only unplaced once. Test the World does a bit of both, but I reckon the form out of this 1100 metre scamper, Mike, is going to be pretty serious form for the summer coming up. Yeah, back end of the spring, there's some serious horses hanging around, and one coming through the grades. It looks pretty special, doesn't it? Let's have a look at the way this race sets up. Third leg of the quaddie, 1100 metre scamper, a fair to strong tempo, a couple going forward, including Don't Tease Me, the 1000 metre horse, which should make it a strong tempo. Good conditions and the fair bias we talked about. So across the 3 key factors based on those conditions, position and run again. Which horse gets the gun run? Weight. There's one particular horse down in the weights that could surprise, and scope. That favourite's got untapped scope for sure. All right, we'll see all that later. Let's get stuck into the market here for the third leg of the quaddie. We're 2 legs down, and Bonamie, that undefeated horse, $2.60, out to make it 5 from 5. In times of war, $4.40, never missed, only missed a place once, as I said, never far away. Test the World, $6 on the next line. Fresh for Bjorn, ridden out to win his latest trial. Ozark ran on well behind Pomelo there at $8, but Bonamie, Mike, the punters think he's just going to keep going to keep that winning record intact. Yeah, and how do you know how good he is yet? Because he's 4 from 4. He hasn't been tested in a race like this on Saturday. Let's look at his last start and see how he goes, and maybe you at home will get an opinion of how good this horse is in the lead, backed from, I think it was $1.50 into $1.30 or something, Stu. Who was buttering up at the $1.35? I don't know. Magic has on his back, running on okay, but not as good. Not as good, and how good? That's the big question. A clear margin in the end here for this horse, Bonamie. Yeah, the scope, how far can he go? Yeah, on ratings and form, it's not quite good enough to win on Saturday, but like you said, Stu, before, he's got improvement. He's getting better all the time, and Rory Hutchings loves him. Look at that fist pump. How about that fist pump? You'll have to rewind that one. That was good. He might have a little horse for the summer there, Rory. A couple of these horses coming in fresh, Mike. We're going to have a look at one here, Secret Trail from the trials. Yeah, Snowden. Last preparation, this mare wasn't so good, so maybe she's priced on that form from last prep. 2 preps ago, she was really good. Let's have a look at the way she's going this preparation. Her first trial was probably a tiny bit better than Test the World, who's right in this market on Saturday. This is her second trial. She's looming up on the outside in the red, and she's doing pretty well here, Stu. Gee, I'm always wary of these Snowden trialers. That looks pretty good to me. Very, very soft. Yeah, Egyptian symbol on the inside. She's doing as good or better. She could have come back a better horse, and she's big odds. All right, there's a look at one of the trials. Let's get this third leg of the quaddie underway, Mike. Let's look at the form. Bonamie, surely, coming in with all the form. What else can you say? 4 from 4, gold bar, light him up. Light him up. Let's get stuck into the key factors. Position in run. Who's getting the gun run? Yeah, he's drawn wide though, isn't he? He's a bit adaptable. He can go back or go forward, which is good, but he definitely doesn't get the gold bar for position in run. There's a few there with better barriers, better draws that can get a better spot. Plenty joining in this race as we get going with weight. Don't Tease Me has got a ridiculous weight based on his best ratings and gets a big kicker for us. Secret Trail with an important claim as well. Don't Tease Me levels up with the favourite here at $51, thank you. And how about Scope, the last of the key factors? Well, we know it's all about Scope for Bonamie. On ratings, he's in the mix, but on Scope, he could simply be better than them. That's the kicker we've given him. He could be better than that again. Test the World, also a horse with Scope for Bjorn Baker. Well, upside gets Bonamie the favourite home in this race. We're going to have to wait to Saturday to see if that's going to be the case. Look, we've got to have a bet here, Mike. Bonamie is short. I think it's one of those races. We're either taking the favourite here or we're looking at some value. Let's have a look at this market to see where we might be able to play. Bonamie, as we said there, where are some of these you've mentioned before? That one you mentioned isn't even on the page. Who was that? That was Don't Tease Me at $51. He's up there on 6th or 7th, I think. 6th or 7th, there it is. And Secret Trail there as well. So that's from the trials. How are we going to play this race? Yeah, it's a bit of a mix. It's a bit confusing, this race, isn't it? Do you take the favourite? Do you go against him at the prices? We've got to fish around, and the margin's not that big for us. He won well last start, but he could have won by more for us at that price on Saturday. So we're going wide, we're going small bets each way. Secret Trail could be better horses preparation for Snowden, and each way bet for sure. And Don't Tease Me, God bless him. I hope he's there right to the end. He might get beaten the last 50 metres,
but he's great odds, isn't he?
Sticking in some value here, Mike. In the third leg of the quaddie, that's what we want to see. That's what we're here to do. Let's wrap it up with the last leg of the quaddie, though. And, Mike, a couple of informed mares here. Istria, Our Belissa, taking it to the boys, both coming off some very, very strong wins with big margins last start. And King Darcy, the toppy, 60 kilos, but I don't know if there's enough rain around for this boy.
Yeah, he's a wet tracker, isn't he? What happened to all the dry track Rosehill horses on a Saturday? This last race, none of them in this race really love a firm Rosehill track. So really hard to find the winner to finish off the quaddie, the 4 legs on Saturday. Let's look at the way the race sets up. The last leg on Saturday, benchmark 83, 1,500 metres. A fair to steady tempo. There's not too many going forward. Good conditions and a fair bias, maybe near pace if the track dries right out on Saturday. Across the 3 key factors, when the tempo is on the steady side, position and run's definitely a key factor, so is power, the ability to sprint, and scope. We're playing that improvement again.
Well, let's have a look at the market for the last leg of the quaddie, Mike, and hope everyone's still alive going into it. Let's bring it up, and well, Istria, this has been one of the better goes of the day. Smashed in from $6 to $3.40. Dreamforce just getting out a little bit now, but right in behind at $3.90. Our Belissa, well, here's another one that's been absolutely crunched into $4.80 from $8. King Darcy, as we said, with the big weight, but wants a bit of wet. But look, some really big goes here. Istria and Our Belissa, they're jumping out of trees to back these.
Yeah, big goes, big margins. They won by lots last start. We're not going to look at those replays, but in our second replay, we'll look at the 2 horses racing against each other. We pulled one from the archives. Let's start off with 1,300 metres Rosehill, Dreamforce first up, and see how he went. Beaten by Redouble. That form obviously worked out pretty well. A whole bunch of other horses in this race come through to Saturday, but Dreamforce beat them home pretty well, Stu.
Yeah, Dreamforce, just love the way this horse can just fight it from on pace too. And look, gives a bit of a kick here in the orange. As you said, a last start winner, Redouble, coming up. But look at this little gap in behind, and then there's a whole wall finishing here. So can any of these turn it around on Saturday?
Yeah, when you see horses in a bunch, it's a bit of a worry, isn't it? A lot of these horses had their chance. They're doing okay, but yeah, easy second, margin to third. It's all about that horse second up, I think, on Saturday.
All right, well, we've mentioned there's 2 money horses in this race, and well done for going through the archives to find this replay where they raced each other. So let's have a look at it. Take us through this one.
Yeah, they're both here. They're both in a steady tempo race. Look, they're both horses that seem to like a sticky Randwick track, which is what they got this day on Saturday as well. And they're coming to a firm Rosehill. So we went through to archives to find which horse has a better turn of foot. It was a steady tempo this day. Our Belissa sort of got held up just slightly in the red cap. She looms up alongside Istria, off a steady tempo like we said. And which one sprints home best, Stu?
You've found it. It's Our Belissa. The way you can go through these form replays like this, Mike, you've just said it. You've found one that you think just can quicken better there.
Yeah, you've got to find a turn of foot on Saturday. Love watching that replay and seeing her quicken makes a big difference.
All right, well, look, this is the last leg of the quaddie, so let's get stuck into this last race. Form first, then all the analysis, Mike.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, this one. Istria and Our Belissa have to get the gold bar for form, coming off big wins. A whole stack in behind there.
Yeah, the 2 big last start winners. As we start the race, position in a run. Who's getting the gun run?
Yeah, well, not Istria. She might get back midfield or slightly behind. Dreamforce, Our Belissa, King Darcy, all on pace, all well suited. They get the gold bar for position and run.
And power. Where are these power Rosehill horses?
I don't know where they are, Stu. I couldn't find any in this race at all. We've given 3 a slight kicker with a bit of a turn of foot, bit of sprint. We saw Our Belissa, but not many of these horses have big rip at Rosehill. It's such a shame, because if there was one, we'd love them.
And as we come around the bend scope, these horses have been winning by good margins.
Yeah, that's the thing you have to say about Istria and Our Belissa. The margins, they could be improving. They could be even better this start again. So you've got to give them a kicker for scope.
3 horses on top there. As we cross the finish line, it looked like a favourites race there, Mike. That's the way it's panning out. Let's have a look as we wrap it up and have a look. We've got to have a bet in this race. We've got 3 favourites that we like there. $4.80, $3.40, $3.90. Look, this is pretty simple to me, isn't it? One of those favourites is each way odds. She's stuck her neck out there, Our Belissa. Which way are we going to go? Yeah,
we've gone through the analysis in detail. We like those 3. They're all the favourites. One's better odds. Case closed. Pretty simple. Our Belissa, she can pause you up just behind them from the inside barrier, and she can quicken. So important in this race on Saturday. We can't go for those other favourites, can we? Because they're not as good odds. We're going to pull out a roughie Voiler. Maybe a place, maybe each way at those odds.
Voiler, you have tipped that horse on this show. 1 from 27, I'm pretty sure this horse is. I reckon he makes wine tails look like winks.
That's a very good point, Stu. Maybe a place then.
All right, well, there's a look at the last leg of the quaddie. We've got to wrap this up, Mike. You've mentioned a few value bets here, just sneaking in at the back end of the show. Take us through the quaddie. Are they going to make a bit of a statement here? It's not going to pay $56 next week, is it?
It definitely won't. It could pay enormous on Saturday if some of these roughies get home. Let's have a look at the way this quaddie shapes up. All favourites, all roughies through every single leg. Race 6, Morton's Fork, Just Dreaming, you can't go against them. 4-year-olds on the improve. Zenalicious and Unequivocal, they're the value. Merendi and All's in big value for us second up. Bronze Venom and Mr. Bar the favourites. Race 8, we've gone a little bit wider. We hope Bonami gets beaten, even though he's such a fantastic horse. And there's the 4 for us in race 9. Voilier, we had to put him in at the price, but we're not expecting him to win.
All right, some really good value bets there, Mike. That's what we need in these quaddies. As I said, there's no way it's paying $56 like last week. So a bit of value there to spice up the quaddie at Rosehill Gardens this weekend. And we've mentioned it a few times. You're going to need that power and rip to just accelerate away on that dry, hard, fast Rosehill track.
It's so important, Dave, for multiples, trifectas, place, all ups. There's some value on Saturday.
There's a bit of value to wrap up the quaddie, guys. Hope you're having a good weekend and good luck with the punt on Saturday at Rosehill.